What a great package. Well done, gentlemen, for putting that together. And to hear those dulcet tones of Ray Warren. And I want to give a shout-out too, because this man's entering legendary status as a caller, Andrew Voss. I mean, the career he's had from such a young whippersnapper, and good on you, Vossi. That's fantastic stuff. What an absolute gem of a caller. The prelim package is out, so there you go. We've got the 4 teams left that become 2. The tourist is laughing because I did a Ron Burgundy moment. That's fine. And you can you can find both games and the grand final live on SEN this weekend. And it all starts at Amy Park, where we thought for sure, based on the chronological order of last week, Brian, we thought for sure, okay, well, surely Melbourne are playing. They're waiting for the winner of the Roosters and Manly, the Battle of the Birds.
Yep.
Surely they're playing Saturday because the Sharks had played Cowboys, and surely they're playing Penrith. But the AFL Grand Final.
Yes, I was on Saturday. So
yes.
I know a lot of people are out there blowing up saying, well, the Roosters get a short turnaround, but they're fine. They'll be fine. I reckon
it's a semi-final, Brian.
Yeah, they're up for it. Would you like me to do these teams?
You open the batting, please.
Okay,
yes.
I'm going to open the batting. As expected, pretty much, well, the Roosters are as per program as last week, and the Melbourne Storm are exactly the same as the team and the squad that towed up the Sharks in week 1. So, at fullback, Pappenhausen. Wingers, Will Warbrick and Xavier Coates. Centres, Jackie Howarth, Nick Meaney. Halves, Munster, Hughes. Forward pack, this is going to be awesome. This is where the game is going to be won and lost. But I'm just going to look at this forward pack by the Melbourne Storm. Asofa Solomona, Harry Grant, Josh King, Sean Blaw, Eli Katoa, Trent Liero, and the bench, our man Tyron Wishart, Christian Welch, Tui Kamikamitha, and Alec McDonald. For the Chooks, as I mentioned, same team that give it to Manly last week, James Tedesco, Daniel Tupu, and Dominic Young, your wingers. Your centres, who are you, I know, Sugar, you are very keen on having this.
Yep.
And we'll get to that a little bit later. So we got Swali'i, Manu, Keary and Smith, young Sandon Smith. Front rowers, Jared Warrior-Hargraves up against Nelson. This is going to be awesome.
Yep.
Connor Watson's your hooker. Lindsay Collins, your other front row. Your back row, Angus Crichton, Tupanua, Radley. The bench, Lenu, White, Butcher, and Terrell May. Very, very, very evenly matched forward packs, I feel.
100%. Cromie, Mitch, please. Cromie. My biggest crow of the year I'm about to do.
I know.
It's my biggest crow of the year, right? Of the year. The start is 9.5. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. The Roosters are getting plus 9.5. The money has come for Melbourne at the minus 9.5. And I am totally swimming against the market. Let me tell you 2 main reasons. People, you'll hear so often this week, oh, Roosters against Penrith and Melbourne. They've won one game in 21. You'll hear that all week, right? But what I want to talk about, you've got to get a bit of forensics into things. You've got to go back and watch these games. This year against Melbourne, and not forgetting last year, remember the semi-final last year down there?
Yep. Will Warbrick just plucked it out of Toob's hands.
That's right. And it was 16-13.
Yep.
They get out of it, right? Hear me out. The 2 main reasons why, I'm not saying the Roosters are morals to win the game. I'm saying the 9.5. I think it's a coin flip. I really do. You got Trent Robinson, who could be in the cusp of his 4th grand final. If he gets there, he's won 3 from 3. This is the first time this year where the Melbourne Storm, you've seen so often where games where Penrith took on the Broncos. Piakura had to go to the centres.
Yep.
Panthers just pulling them apart. You saw a game where Moses Suli, Anzac Day, comes off playing left centre, and the Roosters just destroyed them. The defensive position of centre is key. The 2 times they've played them this year, the Roosters versus Storm, one of the centres was Michael Jennings, who at his top flight was a gun. He's now 40 or whatever he is. And the other time was Satili Tupanua. So the Melbourne Storm have not yet met the 2 Josephs. Swali'i and Manu together in the centres.
Yeah.
They haven't yet met those 2 together. My final say is this. Yes. They haven't. It's 7 tries to 4.
Yep.
In the 2 games they've played, it's 7 tries to 4. Go back and watch the 7 Melbourne Storm tries. Go watch the 4 Roosters tries. The 4 Roosters tries were more constructive just got them for edges. There was some luck involved in the Melbourne. I'm not saying the Melbourne Storm will be beaten by the Roosters, but I'm saying it is a coin flip and the market's wrong. 9.5 is wrong.
Okay. Well, if it's a coin flip, why aren't you taking the 360?
Who says I'm not taking the 360?
Fair enough. You're waxing lyrically about that.
Who says I don't have the Roosters Swans double going, Brian?
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's a coin flip.
I hope you're right. I do hope you're right.
Do you agree with me or not? Have I sold you or not? And why haven't I?
Okay. Sam Walker played in both those games at 7.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Okay.
Yes.
He's been the linchpin.
Yes.
My greatest worry for the Roosters, not the attacking prowess. I thought their defence was really, really good. It's the fact that they are so good, Melbourne, at kicking the ball to a corner, rushing down there, and keeping the attacking side to the 30 or the 40, sometimes the 20.
Agreement.
The Achilles heel that I see with the Roosters now, kicking game. Long kicking game.
Yep.
Melbourne are the best at putting pressure on their kickers.
Okay,
Roosters have got
so can I intervene?
Yep.
Do they lose anything from Sammy Walker with the kicking game?
I think they do.
They do?
I feel this year he's been kicking it further than he has before.
Okay. All right.
It also had Brandon Smith coming out of dummy half and whacking it long. He's got a couple of 40-20s. He's very good at that.
Yep.
The kicking game is so important. I know I keep going on about this. Adam Reynolds in the grand final last year kicked them off Penrith off the face of that for the first half, and for whatever reason, the last 20 minutes he just went to his shell.
Yep.
This is my greatest fear: is the Roosters not being able to get out of trouble.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair, Brian. And by the way, Spencer Leniu, game 100. Good luck to him in that particular match. It is going to be an absolute beauty, covered by SEN. I think Jimmy's got both the calls, so it's going to be a wonderful weekend for SEN. 1300 01 1170. Game 2. Well, let's move to that. Here's a side. The fullback, Dylan Edwards for Penrith. Sunya Taruva, last year's Rookie of the Year. He's on the wing with Brian Isaac Tungor, Paul Adamotti. They're in the centres. The halves, Jerome Luai, who he was a one-man band. Last time they beat him 42-0. No Nathan Cleary in that game before Origin. Cleary is back, of course. He's the co-captain. Leota up front. James Fisher-Harris. Kenny, the dummy half. The back row, Garner, Martin, Yo. Yo, who's going to break a record, I believe, is the most capped Panther of all time. So what a career he's had. And where does he sit in the standing of all-time Panthers? Seriously, you think about legend players like Mark Geyer and, some of those great forwards. Yo's got to be right there now. The bench, Brad Schneider, Lindsay Smith, Liam Henry, Matt Eisenhuth. There's an extended bench there, but we can worry about that later in the week. For Cronulla, they look, as per your program from last week, you can understand why Will Kennedy, the fullback, who's been probably over the 3-year period their best player. Sione Katoa on the wing with Ronaldo Militalo, Jesse Ramey in the centres with Kale Iro. They were asked to make big tackles last week, both those centres pairing. Braden Trindle, comfortably the man of the match last week. Nico Hines, he's in for a massive game. I can just sense it. Toby Rudolph up front with Oregon Kafusi. Blake Brayley, what a career he's having at the moment. Britton Nakora on the right back row position. Teague Wilton the left. Cam McGuinness, isn't he tough, the captain. And the bench, Sifa Talakai, Jack Williams, Royce Hunt, Tommy Hazelton. It's going to be a beauty, and it's no gimme putt either, I don't think, for the Penny Panthers. Game 100 for Nico Hines, Brian.
Okay, are you as bullish? They're getting 12.5, aren't they?
I'll be taking both.
You're not as keen?
I'm not as keen.
Okay, fair enough.
Not as keen.
I think.
You know why I'm not as keen?
Tell me.
And I really hope I'm wrong. That first 10 minutes versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, they were punching holes in the Cows, weren't they?
And then all of a sudden you got these.
I would have watched that.
Yeah, that's my biggest worry.
If they
can weather that storm.
Yeah, and just go with them.
Yep.
You just got to go with, and it's hard. You've just got to. When you play Penrith, you've just got to hold your nerve.
Yep.
And just don't make mistakes. It looks like it's on. You might have a 3-on-2 on the short side. You think, you just got to put the ball under your arm. It's so hard.
Yep.
Especially when you're in and you get fatigued and it's 30 minutes in and it's 2-0.
Yep.
You've got to play the way the Panthers play and go with them. Don't blink.
Let me sell you this. What are you really gambling with? If you like the Sharks, I think you got to take them lead at halftime, win the game. Because I think they're either in the fight or it's lost in the first 20.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, they've got the talent to play catch-up football when it comes off.
You're not catching up with the Panthers,
No, but when
mate.
it comes off. That's what I'm saying.
But not even against the Panthers.
I know, because they're just too good. They'll just strangle you and bring you down into the fight.
If you like Cronulla, take the half-full double, and you've got to be out of the blocks.
Yeah, you've just got to be so patient playing against, and a bit like the Melbourne Storm as well. Melbourne are very good at it as well. Penrith are elite at just getting a lead, and I've mentioned this story before when Mitch Kenny was on the show, and I said, "What is it about you blokes when you get to a lead?" And he says that all we focus on, we don't want to score any more tries because we just back our defence.
So does it change? So when he says that, right? Do you ascertain that they change their thinking? In other words,
no, they get to that. They get to that thinking. They
no,
go
no,
right.
I'm thinking for Gordon Bombay.
Oh, okay.
So do they? At the start of the game, is their thinking the same?
No, I don't think it is. I think
so. They go after it more at the start. You reckon?
And then they get to a lead, and if they get to 2 tries, good night.
So they're the blackjack dealer, and they go, "You can play high risk now.
Yep.
We're just going to keep dealing.
We're just going to, and who's going to break first?
Righto.
Invariably, it's that offload, or you see something on the short side,
and then they get it 30 metres out. In that grand final against Parramatta, Mitch Moses goes for an offload 40. They score the next set.
Yep.
Right.
You've got to play the way they play, and it's very hard, especially if you're an attacking side like the Roosters, especially if you're an attacking side like the Sharks, where you just got to put that thought out of your head.
But you know what? Now you say that, they kick on with the lead, not because they're chasing it. The other team goes frantic, and it just gets on a platter for them.
Yeah, they're knocking the ball coming out of trouble. Right, let's just try something different.
Gordon Bombay writing notes. After the break, and by the way, just getting back to the Panthers captain, Isaiah Yeo, what a bloke, what a career. He's going to break the club's all-time appearance record. They have won 5 premierships, and he's played in 3 of them, co-captain, 243 games. He will leave Accor Stadium on Saturday night as the most capped Panther of all time. It is some achievement.
And he could play another 3 years. We might see.
Yeah.
We might see
the first 300 club Panther.
Yeah.
Yep. Hope we do.